Hi, my name is Denis Leary, and I feel like I could give a fuck about being Conan O'Brien's friend because I'm already his fucking cousin.
It's true. It's true. You know, first of all, we were just acquired by PBS, so that whole rant up top, and I'm guessing your entire interview is not going to fly.
I'm not. I'm gonna reduce. I'm not gonna.
You're going to reduce the fuckage?
Yeah.
Hey there. Welcome to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, joined as always by Sona Movsesian.
Yeah. Hi.
Matt Gourley.
Hi.
And I'm going to let people have a little peek behind the scenes of how we work here. I noticed something recently, which is we always have the interview start with the guest saying, hello, my name is, and then blank. Mm-hmm. And I feel blank about being Conan O'Brien's friend. And we give them a physical piece of paper. And that's the way we've been doing it now for, is it 5 years? 6 years?
Almost 8.
It's over 7 years.
Oh my God. We're speeding towards the grave. All right. Walking hurriedly towards the grave.
Okay.
And what I noticed is that guests, not every guest, but maybe 1 in 3, they get fidgety. And so there's this piece of paper in front of them, and they would do this a lot with their paper and slide it around. And it would distract me. I think sometimes you would hear it, Eduardo?
Yes, every now and then.
And I just started to notice there must be a better way. And so finally, for the first time recently, I suggested, isn't there a better way where there's no physical piece of paper? So we started putting it up on a screen over there on the wall, so there's nothing in front of them and they can't fidget. We try it out for the first time recently, and we're doing it. The guest says, hello, my name is blank, and I feel blank about being Conan O'Brien's friend, and we're off to the races. Everything's great. And then I start to hear,
Oh.
And I'm like, what the hell? And I look over, and you, Matt Gourley, the podcast maestro,
I
didn't
the
say I was
producer,
good.
you were
I don't have
shuffling your
paper.
paper, and you
I
kept
don't have it.
crinkling it and uncrinkling it, and I kept looking at you, and you were looking at me. You weren't picking up on my signal, and then I had to point at you during the interview at your paper, and you made this oops face.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
In my defense, it was in the Kevin Nealon episode.
Yeah.
And you guys were just insane. And
Yeah,
so I
that's
think
true.
I was just like disassociating, you know?
Because it was uncomfortable.
Because no, it wasn't uncomfortable. I just normally don't do that kind of thing, but I was rolling the corner of my paper.
Oh my God, it was so loud.
I apologize, yeah.
And, well, no, listen, apology not accepted.
Oh, then apology rescinded.
How do I get that apology back? Because now I'm reconsidering, and I would like the apology.
You have to really show me that you want it.
Where is it stored, the apology?
At my apology safety deposit box.
Okay, I've got to get in there. That's my new heist movie with my friends. Me and my friends got to get into that vault and get that apology back.
Oh my God.
The worst heist movie ever.
The worst.
Yeah,
For
I
an
did it.
apology.
We got it. It's all of us in some villa in France that we can't afford because we got no money. And we're all toasting each other as I unbox the apology.
Wait, and you open it and there's nothing in there.
You just hear, I apologize. Comes out and it disappears into the air. I apologize.
Into the ether?
Yeah, it just goes,
so anticlimactic.
and then someone comes in and says, get out of my villa. You don't pay anything.
Your Italian accent.
I thought they were French.
Yeah.
I know. Was that
An
French?
Italian can own a villa in France. And in this movie, because I can't afford the really good French villa, I go to the Italian villa in France. Asshole, Eduardo.
Oh, so the Italian villas are subpar is what you're saying.
No, this one just happens to be. I would never generalize. But this guy really doesn't have his shit together. Except he's on it with the billing. Anyway, so I think I have to start taking paper away from you because I'm going to have other interviews that
It
go off.
happened one time in hundreds, almost 400 interviews.
But
one
it happened
time.
the first time that we had removed. That was the best part.
Just
It was the
coincidence.
first time I had removed paper from the guest to try and stop this problem when I hear crinkle, 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 crinkle. And I'm like, who's ordering crinkle cut fries? And I look over and there's Matt Gourley
Also,
crinkling away.
you're not above
that
this.
was-
You're often doodling on your paper.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Doodling is different.
No, because you
that
can
is an
hear the
artist
little,
expressing himself.
Oh no! You owe me an apology.
Oh, like you know about noises that come up in the. Oh yeah, you do listen to the podcast. Do I make a lot of dink, dink, dink noises?
No, what you do is this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's me. Well, I have a high moral standard.
but the
And a
audience
lot of
wouldn't
times
know
I'm
that.
like,
I cut them all
that's
out.
me. That's me disapproving of the morality of the people around me.
Really?
I'm tisking them. That's not.
So I should leave those in?
No, you should take them out, but you should put them in a box and put them in a safety deposit box.
I've got one of those.
Movie
I've got
ends
one
with
of
me
those.
and my gang at an Italian villa in Switzerland. No, an Italian villa in Ireland.
What?
And we open up the box and all these come out. And then a guy comes in and says, "You not pay your bill. Now get out or I throw this pile of potatoes at you."
Oh.
Ireland.
Because it's Ireland.
I tied it all together. God, he's good. Who's talking? Conan. About who? Himself. Anyway, no more paper for you. No more paper for me. And I'll try not to do.
Yeah, why do you guys
When
even
do I do
need
that?
paper?
You do it.
No, but when?
You do it usually as you're about to begin a thought. So you go like, another thing you always say coming into a response to a guest is, it's interesting that, or it's very funny that, and then you'll go, and then say something. Yeah.
It's very erotic when I think about it.
It's erotic.
Do you think that's a turn on for women?
Not at all.
What
Really?
define
Nope.
erotic?
Mm-mm. Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah. What do you?
When I was
like they
single,
wanna
I used to go, "Oh yeah, this is really good."
Oh my God! It sounds like you're
Girls
trying
love
to.
it when guys make creepy noises at them. Like that
Oh,
really
yeah.
works for a
Sounds like
lot
you're
of girls.
summoning a horse.
And that's me. I'm in the bathroom. They're in the bedroom.
Ugh.
I'm just talking to the mirror.
Ugh.
I don't know what's happening in
What?
this scenario.
I don't know what happened. You know what? Why do you guys even need paper? Like I never have paper in front of me.
Well,
Just
first
don't
of
have
all-
paper. What do you need it for?
I have to write notes.
Well,
You
I gotta
never,
write
when you were my
notes.
assistant, you
Okay.
never had any paper.
Okay. Yeah.
I used to ask you to write things down, and you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but look
You've
who's
never.
not making noise. This guy.
Will you admit that you rarely had paper when you were my assistant?
You know why I didn't have paper? Because I was using an iPad with the writing stylus because I was trying to save paper.
You were drawing
so you're
dicks
welcome,
and
Earth.
butts. You were drawing dicks and butts with your
But I
stylus.
was also taking certain notes. It wasn't all dicks and butts.
I remember the time I went over your notes. I looked over your shoulder and you were drawing butts.
Okay. I think there was a reason that I was drawing butts. Ray, remember when Gourley made a lot of noise with paper?
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Erotic.
I just also remember when he sneezes and blows his nose
Oh, remember
nose a
when
lot?
you spilled water all
That was
over the
one time.
table?
That was one time.
Hey,
That was one time. Remember
when we got along and made a great podcast?
No, I don't.
I don't either. All right. Let's get started.
Yes.
Who is
You
it?
threw your papers on the floor
to prove a point.
and you
No, but-
beat it.
My guest today is a comedian and actor who you can now see in season 2 of the Fox comedy Going Dutch. Are we related? Are we not? We just don't know, but you'll find out. Denis Leary, welcome. I want to say one thing before we get started, which is you and I have known each other a long time. We've hung out. We've enjoyed each other's company. You always go out of your way to tell me that you've been listening to the podcast and then tell me what happened on the podcast. So some people say, I love the podcast. And you can tell they're just reading it off their phone that I have a podcast.
Yeah.
But Denis is a true blue fan and he's always going on and on about 2 other people in the room who aren't me.
Okay. All right.
This enrages me.
All right, so listen, this is a perfect opportunity for me to say this. I don't know what this means. I don't really fucking listen to podcasts, okay? But I listened to this because it was on the radio and I drive everywhere. Even in Manhattan, I drive everywhere. In Brooklyn, I drive everywhere. So I fucking was like, oh my God, Conan has a podcast. And once I got in, now one of my favorite things on the old TV show,
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember which iteration of the
Who
show.
knows? Call it.
But when you
Coco
and Sona
TV.
were doing the bits,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
those film bits were fucking genius,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I love those. So
Okay.
once I started listening to this, I just told these guys this
I know,
backstage.
but I
I was
can
like,
hear it
listen,
again.
I like the podcast. I like most of the people that are on this show, I know. I've
Right.
either worked with or I've hung out with or I've known for like forever before we were famous, like Ben Stiller or whoever,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm interested, but not. What really brings me in is when these two, when Gourley and fucking Sona are arguing and shitting on you.
Yes.
It's some of the funniest fucking shit.
Fuck
Yes.
you, man. Fuck
Fuck you.
It's so
maybe a little more artistic than that.
Okay.
Not
It's
just
so-
Go suck a dick.
Yeah,
It's
Hey,
so
that's
good.
better. That's now you're onto something.
It's
My
so
dick.
fucking funny. And also, it's just when you're firing back at them, that's really my favorite part. So, like when I met Sona just before,
Right.
you can't, I've been here for like 4 hours. Conan doesn't get here until like a minute before you start shooting. He's too big of a star.
Yeah.
I was
And you
downstairs.
could hear my helicopter landing on the roof of the
Yeah.
building.
Well, I thought does it land where the pool used to be? Why the fuck would you? Why would you?
There was a pool when we bought
There
this
was a
building,
pool.
and I covered it
He
right
covered
away.
it up. Why? Because you can't go in the sun. What about everybody else? Sona obviously can go in the sun.
Yes, I can. I want to swim.
away. Take it away.
I can't go in the sun anymore at all. I used to go in the sun all the time. I can't. Now I'm just, every time I go in the sun, I get a melanoma.
Okay, so wait, it happens instantly?
Instantly. If that light here, this light is gonna, I'll have melanoma before the podcast
This is how I know.
over.
This is how I know that we are related. Is that
It's from
you-
the skin cancer.
you are? It's so funny because people get hung up, like what's your skin color, or race, all that kind of stuff, and we're not just white. You are a deathly pallor, and I think I'm whiter than you.
Yes, but we're not even white. We're into a different, it's like translucent.
You guys are ultraviolet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
like a UV form of skin.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's see-through.
We emit light.
Yeah.
That's how white we are.
Prisms.
Yeah, people have used me in mines to get copper out.
We are literally walking lamps,
Yeah.
okay? So,
Oh, here he comes. Good. Open the old text
I
and we'll
can't
read.
fucking find my phone. Get Conan over here. Conan, look in there.
Always keep a Conan or a Dennis by the bed.
That's so fucking funny.
Just right there in case there's an emergency. All right,
So-
let's crack into this right away because there's a lot to talk about.
I want to say another thing.
Yeah.
About how old we are.
Yeah.
Because it's when he told me, I just I know. I just did a gig with you. I know how old you are, but and I'm not in my mind. I think I'm like 40.
Yep.
And then when I see somebody like you who's in my age group, I go, oh, Conan doesn't look like he's 40 anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what reminds me that I'm fucking almost 70.
Yeah.
I feel older
Yeah.
by looking at Conan.
I provide that service for everybody,
But
by the way.
can I just say that?
I don't just emit light, but I will help you determine how old you are by just looking at me.
Wait, I'm just aging in your presence.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I saw Brian Kiley downstairs.
Brian Kiley has been with me
From the beginning.
Those guys are downstairs. They're working on the
Oscars.
Oscars. And Brian Kiley's been with me since, I think, 1993.
Yes.
Brian Kiley from Newton, Mass, and part of the Irish Mafia. And he went to my Sunday school. We had Sunday school instruction that happened, I think, on a Monday night. It was called the Cenacle, and we'd go out to like Brighton, and we were taught by nuns once a week. Parents would send their kids to make sure they got proper Catholic instruction. Sons and daughters. And so I would get driven out there with my brothers, and Brian Kiley was one of the kids that we used to talk
That's so
to.
crazy.
Yeah, and it was always about
Because,
the
I played
Bruins.
hockey with him.
Yeah.
in
Oh,
Boston.
really? You
Yeah.
did?
Yeah, in Charlestown, of all places.
How does he play hockey? He has no leg muscle.
So
He works. He's a guy
So
that works
nice.
out all
Yeah.
the time, and he has this incredible, buff torso, and then two pork Slim Jims hanging off of his pelvis.
Well, this is how good. Well, we don't have to waste a lot of time talking about Kiley, but Kiley looks the same.
Yeah.
He looks literally, because he was bald when we were like 20.
Yeah.
And he was always in shape.
Yeah.
And so now
He looks the same.
he looks exactly the same. He's
Yeah.
Brian Kiley with glasses.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he's getting old. His eyes are getting old.
He's
like
110
ours.
years old.
He's 110 years old.
He fought in the Korean conflict, which
He did, yeah. So we played, and he was a comic from my generation.
he's a
in
great
Boston. Great
joke
stand-up.
writer.
Yeah.
Just a great joke
Why
writer.
are we talking about him?
You know what? I have the same thing. When we're talking about another comic and it's not one of us, I have an egg timer that
Yeah,
goes off
yeah,
after 3 seconds.
Yeah. Like,
And-
why are we talking about this person? He's a great writer.
I may have mentioned this, but we had Gene Simmons on the late night show years and years and years ago, and we had some sketch that he was going to be in, and I can't remember the context, but for some reason he said okay to a lot of the different jokes, but then there was one joke that involved him just saying, and I take a jazzercise class with Richard Simmons, the workout guy, and he put an X through it. And our head writer at the time said, well, you don't like that joke? Was there a problem with it? And he said, he's welcome to mention me anytime, but I don't need to mention him. And our writer said, well, wait a minute, do you have a beef with him or something? He went, not at all. But he said, no free rides. That was the thing it haunts me. He said this, he said, no free rides.
No.
And what that means is,
Yeah.
why would I mention someone else unless I'm getting something for it? Literally another person, like,
Those
hey,
guys-
Gene Simmons, how are
wow.
your children doing?
Those
no
guys-
free rides.
Those guys.
No, are they well? No free rides.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, if you can't monetize it,
Yeah.
in his, right?
If you can't turn it into a Kiss
Yeah.
Cuisinart, what's the point? Anyway, I want to get to the bottom of
I'm
this.
very impressed, by the way. I'm going to say something nice about you now.
Oh, God.
Oh.
These go nowhere, by the way. These
All right,
often
fuck
go...
it, I'm not going to say it.
Nice. And then you can come in with,
Hey,
eat a
fuck
dick.
you.
Yeah.
I just want to say, he did the Comics Come Home concert I do in Boston every year for the Cam Neely Foundation, which is a charity I've been involved with.
It's a
up there.
big charity you've been doing for like 20-something
29 years.
29
Next
years,
year's
yeah.
the 30th. Anyways, he did it this year. We knew he was going to be funny on stage. The fucking band loved doing Roadrunner with you,
Roadrunner, yeah, we
which
did
was really
Roadrunner.
funny. But he was so fucking nice to everybody, including like my baby sister backstage and all these other people there. We went up to the VIP donor dinner, which is people who really donate a shitload of fucking money to the hospital and the cause and everything, and was funny up there, took all the pictures with everybody. He was so fucking nice to everybody. And then he was a complete asshole later on. No, I mean, you know,
I know when to turn it off.
Yeah, it only lasts for
Yeah.
like 9 minutes.
I'd look
and then-
around and when I'd see it was only me and Dennis or Maniscalco too, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to tag out now. Screw
So,
you guys.
I mean, he was still a dick.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Part of it, he was like, no, you were really, it was fucking
Well-
nice of you to do that. And you killed. And when you were backstage talking to my baby sister, she loves you. And she was like, my God, Conan was so nice. I was like, that's fucking front. But he was nice to you for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But thank you for that.
Oh, no. Well, this is the thing. And then we'll get to the question I had for you eventually at the
Is it
end.
a skin cancer question?
No, I want you to look at something and
Oh,
tell
okay.
me. Because there's got a ridge
yeah.
around the edge of it.
Oh,
So-
yeah. No, you got to get that taken out.
So you said to me, hey, can you come do the Cam Neely thing? And I said, yeah, I've never been able to do it before because I'm always taping. And I said, no, this year I can do it. So I said yes. I go to Boston and I'm not thinking. And then I'm like, okay, where am I going now? TD Garden. So this is an arena. Okay. And I think, oh, it's an arena. And I get up to the stage and I peek through the curtain, completely packed. I swear to God,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think everybody in Boston was there. And you have a moment of, Jesus Christ, look at this. This is, I mean, an arena, this is what people see when they're playing the last game, in the basketball season, in the championship. This is what you're looking at. And it was packed. The next morning, I'm walking around Boston, like Newbury Street. I'm over near the Hancock Tower. I'm just running some errands. I'm going to go hang with some of my family. And people are just yelling out windows, great job last night. Hey, had a lot of fun. Like everyone in town
Oh my God.
had been to this thing. It's really impressive what you've built because, yeah, there's a lot of different charities, but I'm hard pressed to think of one where everybody in that city goes.
Well, listen, it's also
really cool.
Cam Neely, who played for the Boston Bruins and is a Hockey Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's the president
legend.
of the Bruins.
Yeah.
He runs the team. So it's like, they respond to the cause. Boston's such a great fucking comedy scene. And it's still thriving there. So the guys coming back and who came out of that scene, but people like you as well, who were from Boston, anybody that comes in to do, they appreciate that. But Cam, he has turned that charity into such a big success.
Right.
And he's a very present guy in that city. People love him. They love the Bruins. It's a hockey town. It's a sports town. So I think they see us within that light as well. You know what I mean? Like we're at the Garden where the Celtics and the Bruins play. Like I saw Conan at the Garden last night.
Which is so cool. For me growing up, the idea that anybody saw me at the Garden
Yeah.
I know, it's so
is crazy
Yeah.
because it sounds like I mean, to me, it just makes me think, and I drained a 3-pointer. It's like, no, I didn't.
No.
I fucked around.
But you know what's so funny is like because of our families, like I'm backstage in my dressing room and a couple of the areas are like my sisters and my older brother and a bunch of my cousins, right? And then I go and introduce Conan to my baby sister, like in the cafeteria where they're serving some food or whatever. And then the show gets done, and I was like, I got to go in and thank Conan because he was so fucking good. And I go in his dressing room, and there's a cousin. I don't know if she's a cousin of mine, but she's a cousin of yours from Worcester.
Yep.
Who's in there? Was she espousing a conspiracy theory?
If it's a cousin of mine, then probably. Yeah.
So I walk in, and he goes, "Hey, this is my cousin, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And she's like, I just remember she went, "This is my." Was it her husband?
Her name's Catherine, but we call her Boo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And her husband is Artie?
Let's just say he's Artie.
Okay.
Yeah, she's married to Artie Lang, which is not going well.
Anyways, it was so funny because she was telling us some weird story about Worcester. And she was like, this is my husband, Neil, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And he's just like a guy saying nothing in the corner. It's because
There's no room to talk around any O'Brien or Reardon.
I know. It's so funny.
You've gotten me to what I want to talk about, which is... I didn't even know this, but a number of years ago, you said, "Hey, I'm your cousin. We're related," because I think you didn't know it either.
I had no idea.
So we tried to look into it. You're from Worcester, Mass.
Yep.
All my people are from Worcester, Mass.
Yep.
My father's side of the family is from just outside Worcester. My mother's side of the family is from Worcester. So the Reardons are from Worcester. The O'Briens are from like towns outside, Millbury, Sturbridge. And so,
Basically Worcester.
Yeah. And my grandfather was directed traffic downtown in Worcester, and that was the job he had.
Or as we say, Worcester.
Worcester. And I used to go and hang out with my cousin there when I was growing up and hang out in Worcester, and there was one thing to do and one thing only, which is for some reason there was a museum of armor.
Oh, yeah.
From like the 14th.
Armor.
Yeah, armor.
Museum of armor.
And so people would say...
Did you go to the armor museum?
Yeah, and literally what it was, it's not even that well curated. It was just
horrible.
a big old office building that hadn't been used, that had been shut down in like 1920, and they filled it with armor that they didn't clean. It was just, I think most of it wasn't on a mannequin.
Yeah, it was just horrible.
It was horrible, and it looked like a hoarder's attic of armor. And so I remember I'd be staying with my cousin, and my aunt would be like, "Go see the armor. Why don't you go see some armor?" And
that was a big highlight in Worcester.
And literally, like, we did that yesterday. Do it again! Because it's Worcester, and that's what you do.
There's not a lot.
And you'd walk around and go, "Yep, there it is."
Now they have a minor league baseball team for the Red Sox, Polo Park, which is downtown.
Used to be the Pawtucket Red Sox, and they moved.
They moved to Worcester.
Yep.
And it's Polo Park, nice little ballpark in downtown Worcester. And they have a minor league hockey team, and so things are looking up.
This is how, and the thing is, when you're from Worcester...
Only took us 150 years.
Yeah. Here's a really funny thing, yeah. The mill closed in like 1902.
Listen, let me tell you, when I was growing up, and some people are still bemoaning this, it was the heroin capital of New England for a while, when I was like a teenager.
Why do you think I was there?
But we were literally like, hey, we're famous for something.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
And then I think it's now Lowell. Anyways, it's like 10
Lowell
years ago.
Lowell took the crown.
Lowell took the
we
crown.
can get it back.
I know. And I was like, so now we have nothing? So Lowell took the heroin capital of New England. We don't even have that.
I think we still have the armory.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Worcester, this is how Worcester-centric people get. And don't get me wrong, I love Worcester.
So
and
do
my
I.
whole family's
From
there.
there.
It's a big deal. And the people are lovely. And it was a big part of my growing up because that's where I'd go see my grandparents and cousins. So it's very near and dear to my heart. But I will say that when you're in Worcester, it's kind of like that New Yorker cartoon where you're the center of the world, and then as you get farther away, it just says North America, South America, but it's all Worcester.
I know what you're talking about.
The thing about Worcester
exactly
is that everything's Worcester-centric and nothing exists outside Worcester when you're there. So I had the experience of when I got the late night show in 1993, there was all this speculation. First of all, my own relatives were like, "What the hell? You're going to take over for Letterman?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I guess so." I mean, what the hell are you talking about? You can't take over for Letterman. They were, I think they didn't
remember my family, because everybody still lives in Worcester, and they were all like, "Hey, do you know this guy?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, I don't know this guy." And
no one
like,
knew that guy. And
He's taking over for Letterman?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. We'll see."
Good luck to him.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, look at us. Years later, here you are covering up pools in Hollywood.
That's how
Close
I'm
that
known.
fucking pool. Everybody inside.
Fit it with cement. So I am there. I'm in Worcester visiting my uncle, and Jim Reardon. We called him Gavin. And
wait a minute, what?
Yeah,
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, his name was Gavin. That's what we called him, Uncle Gavin. And Uncle Gavin said to me, "I know who your first guest should be." And at the time, people were saying, when you have your talk show, you can have pretty much anyone as your first guest. Anyone will be like, "Oh my God, first guest on a talk show, and if it goes, then I'm always going to be the first guest." So you pretty much have whoever you want. And he went, "I know who it's going to be, and this is what you got to do." And I said, "Who?" And he said, "Bob Cousy." And I said, "What?" And he said, "Bob Cousy." Bob Cousy,
Oh my God.
a big star out of Holy Cross College in Worcester, who was a big star for the Celtics in the 1940s and 50s, back when people he would shoot his, whiter than me, and he would shoot his free throws between his legs, like
Granny
style. He would shoot them between his legs, and great player, but this is 1993, and I'm being
by the way, he's still alive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's
and
100.
And God bless you.
No
I'd have him now.
Yeah.
But as my first guest in 1993, can you imagine if I
Bob
said
Cousy.
Bob Cousy?
When I was a
But
kid,
that's how, and I said, I don't know if that's going to work for the first. And they're like, "What are you talking about?"
it's Bob Cousy.
It's Bob Cousy. Everyone's going to go crazy. Yeah, everyone in Worcester is going to go crazy.
He lived in what they call the nice section of Worcester, which I can't remember at that time when it was when we were growing up. But on Sundays, when your parents would drive around and look at houses that you're never going to live in after Mass on Sundays?
Yeah.
Because we lived in Maine South. We lived in an apartment in a 2.5-decker, not even a 3-decker. So my father would drive us by Bob Cousy's house in the nice neighborhood. He's like, "Bob Cousy's house." And we're like, "Yeah, we know. We go by it every Sunday."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can we go to the Armory now?
He had a driving school for a while in Worcester.
What?
Yeah. Had driving school. Bob Cousy's driving school.
I want to drive like Bob Cousy.
Yeah, I mean, like, what is that? Why the fuck does he have a driving school?
So,
I mean, it's so
this
crazy.
I want to ask you about because this is something you can relate to because of what you just said. And I wasn't going to talk about this, but when you're Irish Catholic and growing up in you're in Boston or you're in central Massachusetts, there's this whole thing of what kind of Irish are you?
Yeah.
My mother was, had been the first in her family, I'm not the first in her family, but her generation was the first in her family, obviously, to go to college.
Yeah.
And she had really worked hard, and she had become a lawyer, and she used to sometimes talk to us about how we are lace curtain Irish. And my brothers and I and my sisters would be sitting around being like, "What are you talking about?"
What?
And she'd say, "We're not triple-decker Irish." She would have
come out of Worcester and become lace curtain Irish.
No,
That just
exactly.
doesn't happen.
And I'd say, "Mom, what are you talking
Just
about?"
because you moved to Brookline?
Yeah, and also, I'd look in the corner, it'd be like a ham hanging on a rope. And my brother Neil was hanging off of it like a bear in the woods. I mean, all of our behavior, we would have potato fights. There was, there was nothing about us that was at all respectable in the way that we behaved, but she was just willing it to be so. Do you know what I mean?
It's so crazy because when I heard lace curtain Irish, when you grow up in Massachusetts, especially in our age group, like the fucking Kennedys, right?
Yeah.
This is before, RFK Jr. This is like, when the Kennedys were the Kennedys, right?
Right.
So I still remember, actually, this is like one of my first memories when as a kid growing up, like, I don't know why. It's the summer of '63. My parents couldn't afford to go back to Ireland when they came over in 49 and 50. They couldn't afford to go back. Then in 1963 was the first time they could afford to go, but they can only take one kid with them because they didn't have enough money. So my older brother, Johnny, got to go, and the rest of us got dispersed to other apartments and cousins.
Now, let's keep in mind, this is 1803.
Yeah, right? So
we ate coal for breakfast.
So I remember that summer really well because that's the summer that JFK went to Ireland.
Yep.
But I remember
Huge
being
deal.
at Logan,
Yeah.
and my mother and my father get on this plane with my brother, who I really hate now because he's going to Ireland. And I got stuck with my Aunt Betty, who had no kids, and who gave me a Bible. It's the summertime. She gave me a Bible.
It was a summertime Bible.
I had to
Those
go
are fun. Charlie XCX, Summertime Bible. It's Bible summer.
Bible summer.
I don't know why that didn't catch on. She keeps flogging it, and it's not catching on.
Oh my God! She took us. I had to go to mass every day. I had to go to mass every day, and then she'd walk me over to where my sister Emery was at my cousin's, the Lucy's. They were a couple blocks away, where all the kids were having a blast in their yard. And she was like, "I don't want you to get too dirty. We have to go back." And I'm like, that was a month of the. But anyways, also that when my parents came back, which I still remember, that Kennedy was in Ireland, which was a big thing. But then he spoke at Holy Cross that summer, at the end of the summer. So he drove through the neighborhood with the cover on the car.
Yep.
Unfortunate choice. In Worcester.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing to worry about in Worcester.
Yeah.
He went to, and that was like 3 months later when he got killed. And I remember that because I remember the nuns telling us to go home because we lived we went to school in the neighborhood where we lived. So, it was, I think I was in art class, I think, that day. We were in art class and the nuns were like, everybody go home. We're like, what? Because they knew the.
If a nun told me to go home, I wouldn't question it for a second. Wait a minute. Are you sure we can't have more Catholic instruction? Because I think we got 40 minutes left. Sit down, Mr. O'Brien.
I just got a new Bible.
I just got my summer Bible.
I got my summertime Bible.
Yeah.
That summer lives in my. That was so horrible living with Aunt Betty. Oh my God!
Well, mass
she dressed me up with a tie every day in the summertime.
Oh my God.
It was horrible.
Mass every day.
Mass every day.
I didn't know they did that.
With this stupid fucking Bible.
Did you ever question why you were chosen to go with Betty and the other ones got to go
Because she didn't have any kids, and they felt bad later when I asked them. But they were like, "We wanted her to have a kid."
But why did you have to go to Betty? There must have been a reason.
Because I was her godchild.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, and her fucking husband.
And that's a sacred
Her husband
bond.
was dead.
Ooh, you drew the short straw.
Oh my God, it was so fucking horrible. Anyways, but thank God I lived past it.
So,
well, she's here today.
yeah, let's bring her out.
She's 100 and
I'm still alone. No, it's so funny because there's this life that I knew growing up, and it's everyone's Irish. Everybody's Irish, and Massachusetts, and so, and we don't get to choose what our makeup is. That's just what we are, and it's so interesting to me how comedy was just. It was just, I don't know, it just felt like a cellular thing. It didn't even feel like a choice. And I don't even mean as a profession. I mean, everybody would be funny.
Yes.
You've probably had this experience where I hung out with some Irish comics in Dublin and everybody was really hilarious. And then we decided to go into town and get a drink. We hailed a cab and the cab driver was funnier than any of us.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just something.
But that, in your family, I know from what I've heard you say before, I know in my family this is true. My parents were really funny.
Yeah.
All my aunts were really funny. Everybody was sarcastic.
Yeah.
So I'm sure your family was
Same
the same
thing. And,
right?
and really funny stories and people just laughing their asses off around the table.
Yep.
Eating some of the unhealthiest food that you can imagine.
Oh, the worst. The worst. Oh, my God.
I keep waiting for the Surgeon General to say, fried ham with butter is actually lengthens your life. Because then I'd be in great shape.
I remember there was an Italian family that lived next door, the Corellis. Their mother used to cook, like while you were out playing football or baseball or street hockey in the street in the summertime, she would come out with homemade pizza I mean, just unbelievable. So my brother and my brother ended up marrying an Italian girl. My brother was like, Mom, Mrs. Corelli makes the best. And she's like, I can make pasta. I can make spaghetti. And we were like, oh, please don't. Right? And so one night she made this. I'll never forget this. I loved her. I loved my mother. She just passed away this year. She was 98.
Wow.
And she was lucid right up to the end. But she was an Irish cook. You know what that?
Yes, I do.
Boil it. It's like that. Like, you remember Don Gavin, the comedian from Boston?
Yeah,
he had
of course.
a great line one time. He was like, I was eating my mother's food, and my brother turned to me and said, "This tastes like shit." And I went, "You can taste it." That sums up Irish food, right?
So I remember what I remember very clearly is my mom would say, wanted to make she used to make spaghetti with meat sauce. What she thought was spaghetti meat sauce. Basically, what it was many packages of hamburger meat
Yes.
that are fried up in a giant, and then you put some pasta in there, and I don't even know if there was sauce, but for years, and I loved it, but I thought that was spaghetti with meat sauce. And so when I finally left home, and then I'm in New York, and I go to an Italian restaurant, I think I was berating a waiter. Like, sir, there should be 6 hamburgers. There should be at least 3 pounds of ground beef that's been fried in this. I mean, basically, I thought it was a burger.
And there's too much flavor. What's going on here?
Why do I suddenly taste things?
Why does it taste good?
Yeah.
It was great. And also, then my brother married an Italian, and there was a lot of Italians in the neighborhood. There was Armenians in our neighborhood. It was crazy. We went to the same school for 12 years, right? So you had all these different Puerto Ricans, these different kinds of food. And every night you're eating stuff that you can't taste.
Yeah.
And then on Fridays when they have fish, it's fish sticks.
Fish sticks.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And my dad putting ketchup on the pasta.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
what? Where do we live? And you're like, listen, go out the back door on the porch and look across at the porch across the alley. There's Puerto Rican people eating really good food. Can we go over there? The Corellis are right over here. Oh my God. My father he ate meat at everything he ate had to have meat.
Yeah.
Bacon and eggs, steak and eggs. He smoked 5 packs a day. I shouldn't even talk. I smoked for 52 years.
Well, I remember very clearly, I'm getting the talk show and doing the talk show. It's like 2 years in. It's starting to level out. It looks like I'm going to make it. I went to with my girlfriend at the time, some fancy kind of resorty place in California because I had a week off, which never happened. And we went out, and I think it was, sort of north of San Francisco, right on, cliffs. And it was a very, supposed to be like a very, wonderful, health conscious place. And I'll never forget, I went in the morning to get my breakfast, and they had laid out this table today that I'd be delighted with: fruits, granola, different, juices, all that kind of stuff. And I started to get mad, and I was holding my plate, and I was shaking. I was so mad. My girlfriend was like, "What's your problem?" I was like, "There's no eggs, there's no bacon." And she was like, "Hey, chill." No. And then I went outside. I put the plate down. I walked outside, and I started kicking a tree.
What?
I was so mad.
And you were like, at what age are you at that point?
I was like 32.
Yeah, 32.
And I was like,
Oh my God.
Hey, listen, I'm with it.
Because, and keep in mind, at that time, I went and got a cholesterol test, and they said my cholesterol was like, 350. And I remember having this image in my head that if I stopped fast at a traffic light in my car, a cholesterol me would come crashing through my chest because I was made of fucking cholesterol.
But it's not your fault. That's your parents and your grandparents. It's Ireland's fault.
Yeah. But this morning, my wife makes granola. I put some berries in there.
That's what I had this morning.
But I still, when she's not looking, put 6 slices of ham.
Ham on a rope.
Yeah.
I love bacon, man.
Oh yeah.
I love bacon. And by the way, and I love Ireland, but I've got a lot of cousins there, and I'm shooting a television show over there.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Yeah. So it's funny because my generation, like 2 of my cousins took over the family farms, which are very close to each other in Killarney. My mother and my father met in Killarney. And so it's so interesting because healthy food, like many other things, have come to Ireland. Ireland's doing great financially, and the film and television industry is booming there.
Yeah.
And as I've grown up, Spanish food and all these other kinds of food have come into, even in Killarney. You go into Killarney, there you can get French food and Spanish, which is fantastic. This is not that long ago, 15, 20 years ago, maybe. Went back to Ireland with my mother, and we went to a restaurant in town, a bunch of the cousins my age and their kids and my kids. And it was this like really nice Spanish restaurant, which I'd never been to. And they're like, it's great. And we get there, and my Uncle Dennis, who I'm named for, my mom's brother, and my mom, it's like 20 people at this table. We go in there, and we order, and I think they're ordering, right? And then next thing I know, we're all talking and everything. one of my cousins comes in and he's got fish and chip bags from the fish and chip place across the street. Like they're just dripping with grease. Brown bags. And I'm like, this kid's going to eat, and hands a bag to my mom and a bag to my Uncle Dennis, who are way down there. So I go to my cousin Mahal. I go, what's going on? He goes, oh, they won't eat the Spanish food. So, they're allowed to bring in fish and chips. I go, Ma, she goes, I'm not having this stuff, this Spanish stuff.
Yeah. Everyone knows Spanish food is awful.
She wouldn't even eat a real Italian food she didn't like. She was like, meat, potatoes. When I lived
also, we're like vampires when you show us a vegetable. We're like,
yeah. When I lived in Charlestown, my girlfriend, my wife now, we had my sister Anne Marie and my mom over because my mom was in Boston getting some health stuff done. And so she steamed some salmon and some broccoli and some kind of potato dish. And she served it. And my sister Emery, my mother, we're all talking and everything. So they bite in. And my sister Emery goes, hey, this broccoli, it's hot. and so Anne Marie goes,
and it's green.
And my girlfriend Anne goes, no, I know, Anne, I steamed it. And she goes, no, but it's hot. And she takes her plate and my mother's plate and goes into our kitchen in the apartment and reboils the broccoli.
Yeah. I understand.
That was the same apartment where my mother said to me one day, she was there. When we were growing up, it was in the 70s, my parents got the avocado green refrigerator and stove.
Yep.
You remember that?
Yep.
So my mother's in the kitchen of that apartment and she picks up an avocado and she goes, now this is an avocado, right? This is 1985.
Yeah.
This is an avocado, right? And I go, yeah. She goes, yeah. And I go, what? You've never seen No, I've seen avocados. I'm just saying that's an avocado. And I go, yeah. She goes,
spoken like someone who really is around avocados a lot.
I'm like, Ma. I said, when we were growing up, didn't you have an avocado colored? She goes, we had the color design and the kitchen was avocado, but I wouldn't eat those things. She goes, they're so greasy and soft. I'm like, oh my God. Greasy and soft. Who would describe an avocado as greasy?
And also people who eat grease. Eat grease.
Ma, it's green. You came from a green Emerald Isle. It ties into our whole... I remember saying this to my mother,
I can't.
My mother did this one time. This kid that we grew up with, one of my best friends, a raging alcoholic, died from alcoholism very young. And she goes, this is just a theme. You'll recognize this one. I go, yeah, so listen, he's coming over. He quit drinking. This is at her house in Worcester. He's coming over. He quit drinking. So don't give him anything. She goes, okay. He walks in the door. She says hi. We sit down. And the next thing I know, she cracks a beer and puts it in front of him. I go, Ma, what are you doing? And he's like, hey, like this. She goes, what? I go, he can't drink. You can't drink. And he goes, I know. Yeah, I can't. She goes, no, that's just beer.
Yeah. Beer doesn't count.
Guinness doesn't count. Beer doesn't count.
Right. No, Guinness is like a glass of milk.
Oh, that's growing up.
Yeah.
It's like a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know. He can't be an alcoholic. All he drinks is beer.
He had 35 beers. He's okay. He's driving a school bus in the morning. He'll be all right.
My brother, I would be in a car or a van with my brother when we were in our 20s, and he'd have a cooler full of beer, and I'd be like, "You're driving and drinking beers?" He goes, "Yeah. It's not like I'm drinking booze."
What is happening?
Massachusetts.
You know what's so funny?
Massachusetts.
You know what's so funny?
Are you from?
This all makes
perfect
it
sense.
doesn't even sound like comedy to me because it's just we're like two fish and you're describing water and these two lizards over here are going water and I'm like, what are you talking about? Of course no one would have a hard vegetable.
Listen,
you need to boil that shit until it's a paste and it's gray.
And I have to tell you,
gray paste.
It's so funny. I have because of my algorithms on my Instagram feed on my phone. Every day comes like from last night. There was one this morning I saw. People fighting at a hockey game in Massachusetts, right? A kid's hockey game. The one this morning was, you see these two guys go, oh yeah? No, say it again. Say it again. It's a girls' hockey game. You can see the girls stopping at the glass. And then you see a woman come in. A woman, of course, it's Massachusetts. And she hits the first guy. Hey, you shut up and leave him alone. There's always a woman. Every girlfriend I had that was from Massachusetts could fight.
Yeah.
The Nebraska sisters. Oh my God.
What?
You did not want to mess with them. No. It's crazy.
God, these are kids' hockey games?
Kids, oh yeah.
Oh my
Last
God.
night.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like fans from like, the
No.
Bruins and
No,
another
it's Massachusetts.
team.
A fight can break out at any time.
Okay.
But you know what's interesting is the whole culture. There's something in the whole culture, and it's in the comedy scene and everything. There's just this. People think of like New York is tough, and you think, yeah, Boston. You can almost hear like people have like gravel when they talk. Like in their, it's in their persona. It's in their language. Everything is very abrasive. And I remembered we used to have in the early days of late night. I would have all these Boston comics come on, and some of them, you'd have a comic on who had only been in the clubs in Boston.
Yeah.
And I'd be there, and I'd say, "All right, everybody, and now we got a great, here he comes," and I'd throw to here's a brand new comic in Boston. He's been a big deal in the Boston comedy scene. Here he is. And a guy would come out and he'd have his hat pulled down over his eyes and he'd be like, yeah. And it was pure vitriol and anger. And I remembered my audience would be like, Jesus Christ, make that monster go away.
I know. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Because they had grown up in a sea of lava. And this was their first time out.
That's why the most amazing, there's a lot of great comedians over the years from my generation through Bill Burr's generation and even now. But I went to college at Emerson College with Stephen Wright.
Yep. So
in college, Stephen was the shyest human being on the planet, right? But really funny, quietly, really unbelievably funny. And so when he started doing stand-up, that was one of the reasons I got into it, is because somebody told me, hey, Steve Wright's doing stand-up after we graduated at a Chinese restaurant in Cambridge where there's a talent. I was like, a Chinese restaurant in Cambridge where there's a talent, Stephen Wright? And I went, and he was so different from Lenny Clark was hosting that show. That's how I went.
I was going to bring up Lenny because I saw him at the Cam Neely thing.
Yeah.
Lenny Clark, just this absolute Mount Rushmore icon of Boston comics. And I loved hanging out with him because it was like, I'm so glad he's here. He was really funny.
Yeah. He's like the Fred Flintstone of Boston comics. He literally looks like Fred Flintstone come to life. And he talks. He's really loud. He's a great actor too, but this is the way he talks. He loves you. But he was hosting that show, and it was a talent show. And Steve Wright was just his jokes were like haiku. It was so beautifully written. But he was the only person like that. Everybody, Bobcat Goldthwait came out of my generation. Everybody was loud. Bill Burr, everybody was sarcastic and loud and quick. The crowds were tough. But Stephen, to this day, he's he's a diamond.
No, I always think if Stephen's stand-up was always these jokes that are polished stones that are really precise.
Some of the most famous ones, like Small World, but I wouldn't want to paint it.
That's incredible.
That joke is just like, what are you talking about?
You're coming up from in that scene, and I know that you were interested, when you're at Emerson, you're interested in comedy.
Yes.
Right? And you started like a comedy group that's, I think, still going today.
Yeah.
So
the Comedy Workshop.
So you knew this is something I'd like to do at a very early age.
Yeah. So when I was growing up, my dad was a mechanic by trade, but he was a great musician, and he played in Irish bands, and he played accordion. Like after a wedding or any kind of big family event, people would come back to our apartment and eventually the house we lived in, and my dad would play accordion, and there was always music in the house. But my dad and my mom so fucking funny, so funny and so sarcastic. Like the moment you walked in the door from school, what the hell are you so happy? Like they would start in on you, right? So we were all funny in response to that, naturally, as you know. And then when I was a kid, a teenager, I saw fucking Monty Python.
Yeah.
And Richard Pryor, like almost like the rebellious new Richard Pryor, like 1972, 73. So I was like, and then George Carlin. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
Monty Python just fucking made our heads explode.
Yeah.
I mean, that was crazy.
Well, that was
So-
I've told Eric Idle this a million times. That was for me anyway, that was the atomic bomb blast. That was the Oppenheimer moment of, oh, sketches don't have to end.
Yep.
Like, well, and so it was, you
Yeah.
know, or I guess we really are the Fathead family. And then the curtain comes down. That they just blew everything up.
It
in
was
this lovely
crazy.
way.
They were like the Beatles of comedy. I never, to this day, nothing has ever done that atomic thing. Although I did Pryor and Carlin, especially Carlin, because he was talking like he was in the neighborhood. He was talking about Catholic school and nuns and seven dirty words and all that stuff. So then I was like, and then Saturday Night Live happened.
Yeah.
And that first cast, and I was like, Belushi especially. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You know, it's still true. Like at that same time in music, although I was more of a Stones fan. I mean, I don't really remember seeing the Beatles on TV and stuff, but I like the Beatles. But David Bowie, the first time I saw Bowie, I was like, my brother and I were like, what is this?
Yeah.
Which was just music.
I was like, he's androgynous, I'm androgynous. I remember that really clearly. You know?
You felt seen.
I felt seen
felt-
for the first time.
David Bowie was singing to you. And he was also saying, hey, Conan, you want to try this outfit on?
Yes, I do.
And yet he still seems tougher than me.
Yeah. Oh, he beat the shit out of me, along with the Sikorsky twins, or whatever their name is.
The Sikorsky twins.
No, but it's so it's interesting to me that you see that happening, you start this group, and then you start getting up on stage.
Well, to be fair, though, the group was started by me and a bunch of other friends of mine at the time.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't, the juniors and seniors would get the acting roles, rightfully so, before they graduated. You had to wait in line. There was a seniority system. Everybody had to play a major lead role in a play or a musical before you left the school to get your degree, because it was acting and writing, right? So we got there, we're like, we're never going to get on stage. Then we found out you can get money from the student government to form a theater group. Right. We were all comedy nerds. We loved SNL, which is the beginning of SNL at that time, and Python, Pryor, Carlin. We all loved those shows, like the Mary Tyler, all those funny women on the Mary Tyler Moore show. It was so a bunch of us formed the group, and it was packed with talent. Lauren Dombrowski, who was my girlfriend at the time, ended up being one of the producers of Mad TV. Mario Cantone was in the original group, who was as funny at that time when we were 18 years old as he is now. There were so many talented people in that era. And then there was a couple of guys who later in the Comedy Workshop who ended up writing on The Simpsons. John Frink.
Yep. I know John Frink. He's hilarious.
And at my generation, after I left the Comedy Workshop, then it was David Cross and Laura Keitlinger. I mean, it was an insane amount of talent at that school.
And it still is. I have to say, I'm often back there in Boston. A lot of my, siblings live around the area. And so I find myself in Boston a lot. And I'm always talking to people who are really sharp, really funny, and then it turns out they're Emerson.
Yeah.
Emerson, there's something in the water at Emerson. So many great people have come from there.
Well, it's just it's the type of kids. It's the theater kids from high school, the funny kids from high school, the best dancers, the filmmakers. Those are the kind of kids who go to a school like Emerson. So that's it's more, you're finding people more like yourself.
Yeah.
Like in high school, I was really funny. I wasn't going to make it as a hockey player, but I was really funny in the back of the class, right? And then I was trying to make my friends laugh, but I didn't think that was going to turn into something. But here we are. Right. You're covering up pools. I'm your guest. You own a building. You own a fucking building.
I own a building.
I had nuns who told me, I had one Spanish nun, and she was right in her way. I flunked Spanish twice in high school. She's like, I'm just going to give you a passing grade to get you out of the building, Leary. And she was like, what are you going to do with yourself? What's going to happen to you? You're not going to go anywhere. Hey, Sister Judith Kappenman. That was her name.
Nice.
Sister Judith Kappenman.
No free rides.
Yeah, no free rides.
Don't mention her.
Right somewhere right now, Gene Simmons is going like, why did he mention it? Why should she get a free ride? She's a Catholic nun who's probably dead. Why should she get a free ride?
Listen, she has to be dead. She has to be dead. She was like 90 then.
You say it like someone who hired 3 hitmen.
No, I know.
She has to be dead. But I've hired the best.
But Conan,
7 times.
you know that really is the same nuns and the same priest for 12 years. There are nuns where I'm like, is she dead? She's got to be dead, right? She's got to be dead.
That's not a good sentence. She has to be dead. She has to be.
How can she still be alive?
No one survives a car
We
bomb
put her
like
in
that.
a barrel with some cement blocks, and we dropped her in the Mystic River. How is she alive? We drove her to Charlestown, threw her off the bridge, and she's
You know what it
back.
reminds me of? In The Godfather,
my
the first Godfather, when Salazzo finds out that the Don is still alive. They shot him, and he goes, he's still alive.
Still alive.
That's bad news for me, and worse for you if you can't make this deal, Tom. But that always is like it's a thing in my brain. Still alive.
Yeah.
And that's what they're going to come and tell you, no, she's around. She's 150. Still alive.
Well, I'll tell you, there was one great nun there, and that was the theater nun at St. Peter's.
I love a theater nun.
Yeah. She put me in plays.
Yeah.
And I loved it because the hottest girls were in the plays. And eventually, like, my brother and all the jocks were like, yeah, we want to be in the plays too now and hold the girls and everything. But she
Hold the girl.
yeah, because
Hey, are there any good holding plays? How much holding is there in Othello? That's how they rank the plays.
no, because she would tell you, like, grab her by the bosom and by the rump and lift her up for the dance numbers, right? So
I want that part.
Yeah. I told my brother and those guys, they were like, what do you mean? You get to grab them? I'm like, yeah. Anyways, Bill Murray told me the same
I love
story.
a whole acting philosophy around as much grabbing as possible.
So Bill Murray said, I heard him tell the same story one time, and he was at a Catholic school, and a nun made him be in a musical.
Right.
And he went in, and it was the hottest girls, and he was like, what is this? Anyways, that nun, Sister Rosemary Sullivan at St. Peter's, I wasn't a great student. She said, listen, I took a night class at Emerson. I have connections there. You just audition. You do a written essay, and then you do a live audition.
Right.
And you can get a scholarship. And that's how I got the scholarship at Emerson. She got me the audition. So that's how I got into Emerson. It changed my life. And I stayed friends with her till she died. She followed my career. She was a great nun. But there's a lot of nuns that I literally still think, like, is she alive? Is she out there? Because they were so fucking mean. They were like just like a cult of angry fucking women who just hated fucking kids.
Okay, that's all the time we have.
They could hit you.
This microphone isn't working. I can't even.
He's afraid
my
of the
microphone's.
Catholic Church. He's still afraid.
This microphone. I'm terrified. The nuns at the cenacle, when they wear the habit.
Oh my God.
I mean, the thing is, you have to remember there's the habit, which is black. They're
scary.
it's like it's a Marvel Universe villain.
No. They were literally villains. Like, this girl, you weren't allowed to have pierced ears, and this girl showed up with pierced ears right at the beginning of after the summer. And we were, you're changing classes, you're all in the hallway, and we heard this scream, and this nun had torn this girl's earrings out of her ears, so she's bleeding.
Oh my God.
And threw the things down and gave her detention. We're like, and they used to grab the girls and hit them on the back of the legs and grab them and measure their skirts. But they could hit you. Like, when you went home and said, Ma, I got hit by Sister Judith Kapman.
What'd you do?
What'd you do?
Yeah, what'd you do?
What did you do? Sure, you had it coming. But most of the time I did have it coming. But I'm just saying, they didn't They fucking hit you. Sometimes they hit you just because they could.
To be fair, your skirt was the proper length. I got to make sure I mention.
Oh my God!
This show Going Dutch, which you've been working on.
In my defense,
which, by
I
the
was
way,
wearing the skirt because David Bowie was so fucking good.
He was huge. And I had a crush on this girl, Conan.
Yes.
Going Dutch, because one of the writers who's helping me out,
Yes, it's one of my
Skylar, is a
writers.
fantastic writer,
Great
and he's
writer.
been working for you. And he worked on the show, and I said, "How is it?" And he said, "Oh, it's in Ireland." And I said, "You're shooting it in Ireland, which is not where the show takes place."
No.
But it's fascinating to me that that's where so much production is done now.
Yeah. Well, we're shooting there because the show is set. It's based on a real army base that was in the Netherlands that got shut down.
It's a funny idea. Yeah,
because of black market, drugs are legal, sex is legal, prostitution is legal in
You've been
in-
sent to the least necessary base.
Now that
the-
base in
and-
real life is closed down.
Right.
So we're telling the story. Our military advisor was at that base, but Ireland matches the Netherlands in terms
Yes.
of landscape,
Right.
right? And we have villages where we can shoot. So we shot it in Ireland, so we didn't have to deal with the military or anybody in Amsterdam in terms of what we were going to do. But my son developed that project, and he's the executive producer. So it's the first time I'm like, my son is my boss.
What
which
is that?
bizarre.
What is that like? Your son telling you, "Let's try it again."
It's interesting because we do a lot of improv, right? It's great writing, and the showrunner is on set, Joel Church Cooper. He's the guy who did Brockmire with Hank Azaria.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant writer, and some of the writers are on set, and their pages are great. So we do the pages, but then we always improvise from that. And sometimes he comes in the morning and goes, "Forget the pages. I changed my mind." Or we come in and go, "Hey, what if we did this?" So there's a lot of improvisation. So my son has a great sense of humor, and I trust him. He developed the material with Joel. He'll just come in like anybody else and go, "Dad, that sucked. You guys were great. Dennis, you were terrible. Let's do something else. You try something else. You guys do what you were doing." Or he'll come in and go, "Hey, Dennis, that was funny. You guys, that was great." So it's like I'm just another guy on the set. I happen to, and you see my son, he's huge.
He was backstage.
Yeah, he produces the concert.
Yeah, he was backstage at the Cam Neely thing.
It's funny because I've been looking up to him since he was like 14. But he's 6'7", my son. So it's like when he goes like, "Hey, that wasn't very funny, Dennis," I'm like, "Okay, Jack." But he's got a great sense of humor. My son is really funny.
When I met him, he put his plate on top of your head.
He did. It's so funny because
having a beautiful Caesar salad.
Because my son's name is Jack, and he's 6'7", and Cam Neely's son is also named Jack, and he's like 6'6". So the two of us are like, looking up at them. It's so. I think we have a psychological advantage, but neither one of us wants to find out if we would actually win in a fight.
Don't get into that.
Not getting into that.
Listen, I wish we could do this all day because
It's
this
so
isn't.
funny.
This is not. I always say about the podcast, this is not work. I don't know what this is, but it is not work. And then there are days like today where it's just. You and I can finish each other's sentences.
it's
so I
fucking great.
dedicate this episode to the Learys in Worcester, the Reardons in Worcester, O'Brien scattered all around Massachusetts. Like a
O'Leary's.
disease, O'Leary's.
We found out, but when we were at Comics Come Home, because one of my sisters was there, like I think we chased it down. Somebody chased it down to a Reardon or a Daily. There was a Daily on your.
See, I don't know. I've never quite figured out what our connection is.
There's a
we're
Reardon-
all related somehow.
Your mother was a Reardon, right?
It's we all come from that same green rock.
Yeah, we
So-
all look the same.
Yeah.
right?
You guys look alike.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at like my legs start here. But I think it was that there's dailies on Reardon's on your mother's side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's dailies in the Reardon side, and those dailies came out of Cork, which is where the Learys were, and went into Kerry, and one of them ended up in Killarney. So that's where I think it all connects up. So that daily was involved.
But some people think, oh, so you and Dennis used to see each other at Christmas and stuff
No.
growing up. It's like, no,
We didn't
we're
find out.
cousins the way Sona and I are cousins.
Yeah.
I'm complete.
I know.
I'm so Armo. You have no
are
idea.
Not at all. Not a fiber.
Well,
Well,
listen,
well, you
let me
gotta
just tell you something about purebreds like us.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Okay, we can't go out in the sun.
Yeah.
Right.
And don't put too much spice in the
Don't
spaghetti.
put any.
Don't put any.
Don't put any.
You know what? Let us boil it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll take care of it.
I'll skip.
And we don't have
Busy.
drinking problems. No, we don't. We do not.
You just drink lots of beer.
We drink,
Yeah,
well,
no,
listen,
we're just-
beer is not alcohol. Again,
Not alcohol.
we're back
There's
to
no
this.
alcohol in beer.
There's no alcohol in
Said the
beer
idiot.
or Guinness. Jesus, what's
all right,
wrong
well,
with
you
these
got to
people?
come back because this was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I had a fucking
this is
blast.
like, hey, what's the language? I'm trying to reach.
I didn't say
children.
motherfucker one fucking time,
You know what? God bless you.
and I didn't say cocksucker.
Somewhere, some dead nuns are very proud of you.
Murdered nuns.
Yeah,
Please,
ones that
please.
started their car at the wrong time.
They're climbing out of the coffins as we
There's no
speak.
way she's alive. Not after what I've done.
She can't be alive.
All right, Dennis, go with God. We'll see you later.
That was awesome.